emergency update. We have the CPI announcement today, consumer price index, and it tends to make the markets very volatile. And sometimes it's best to stand aside, let the price tell us what is the best action to take next, and then review the market. So if you like today's content, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Let's dive straight into Bitcoin. We're on a daily chart with Bitcoin, and I've just put the dates of the last, the 1, 2, 3, 4, the last 4 CPI announcements and what happened with the price. And it can stimulate trend reversals, and that seems to be the case. So in August, a few days after the announcement, we had a big downtrend. In September, we had a big down bar on the day, which stimulated this downward movement. In October 13th, it stimulated this movement to the upside. The November one, it happened actually a few days before the announcement. Big move to the downside. We had a big wild bar that day. And then today we've got our CPI announcement, 13th of December. So we want to be on high alert. So when we're looking at this, now looking at the technicals, the weekly trend is bullish. The daily trend is bullish. We should consider buying, but when there's a big announcement, whether it's non-farm payroll or if it's something like CPI, where the markets tend to be very volatile, unless you're already in the market, tighten your stop losses to lock in some profits, because we're probably going to get a wide bar. But what we're going to look for is for the market to tell us how everything is feeling. And sometimes we may just get a stimulation to the upside, and then we'll look for a nice high probability entry point. And we always want to be going in the direction of the trend. However, with short-term important news, it's sometimes better just to stand aside and then look. And by the way, if you want to check out my trend identifier dashboard to stack the odds in your favor when you're buying and selling your crypto, you can now trial it for 30 days or £1, and then it's £9.97 thereafter. You get some buy and sell signals as well, which correlates with the dashboard itself. And I also give you a lot of training, kind of break it down, how to understand the dashboard, how to set it up, and then how to use it and get the most from it. So now let's actually dive into Ethereum. Now with Ethereum, I want to focus on the shorter term time frame. So I've just zoomed in on a 1 hour chart because markets tend to move in 5s and 3s. And we seem to have some textbook buying and selling behavior with short term Ethereum. So let's just look at this. We did a video the other day. We said, look, it looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like an A, B, C correction. And this is where we did the video yesterday. And what we said was it looks like we've hit some very key Fibonacci price zones. Today I did some time analysis, and we've got some time zones as well. So this tells us this is a high probability bottom that's likely to hold. So what's happened since? Now again, same applies with Ethereum with CPI. If CPI weren't today, I would look to take potentially a long trade right now, mainly because we're looking like we've got some type of ABC correction over here. A break above this high, we'll probably get a continuation to the upside. And that's a very short-term trade, and I'll tell you why. So again, look at the dashboard at the bottom of the screen. I'm just going to tidy this up a little bit. Dashboard at the bottom of the screen. So we've got it set on the weekly and the daily, even though we're on an hourly chart. And it tells us that we're in a bull trend in terms of momentum position and bull trend on the daily momentum position, because momentum just measures the rate of change. And it's really common that it correlates with price behavior. So when the momentum is bullish, we want to go in the direction of the momentum, which in essence is the trend. We want to go in the direction of the trend. So when I'm looking at the immediate price action of Ethereum, what I can see, and hopefully you can see it as well, is we've had this nice movement to the upside. We had a nice correction, very impulsive move to the upside, and it looks like some type of A, B, C correction. So we don't know how Ethereum is going to react to the CPI. Is it going to be positive? Is it going to be negative? It tends to be a stimulation. But when we're just looking at it from a technical standpoint, let's just do a bit of technical analysis on this. We'll just bring this back on as well. So I just want to focus on this part of the market. So first we'll do a wave count, all right? We'll do a wave count. And what I just want to identify and make really, really clear is this looks like, it's not confirmed, but it looks like some type of A, B, C correction. And the question I ask is an ABC of what? Is there a clearer, slightly more macro picture in this? So this is called a sub-micro or micro wave count there. Well, when I'm looking at this, it looks like, hopefully this makes sense. Again, keeping in mind that markets tend to move in 5s and 3s. We want to look if we can spot those. 1, looks like a 2, looks like a nice 3, ABC of a potential wave 4, and then a wave 5, right? And what I want to look at here, and we'll leave those parts to the left-hand side. By the way, you can download this chart for free as well. It's in the description link below. You'll be able to see the 4-screen layout. So it'll look like this. And then you can upload it into your own trading view and you can edit it as you see fit. So we just focus on the bottom left at the moment. All right, so the next question I ask myself is, if this is a wave 4, hence I'll put a big question mark because it looks like it's moving down at the moment. I'll just make it nice and big over here. Let's make it red. So this just tells us this has not been confirmed. What would invalidate this wave being a wave 4? Well, if you're familiar with Elliott waves, which is basically learning to read the markets in terms of fear and greed, crowd psychology, wave 4s should not go into the range of wave 1. What that means, this is powerful information because it tells us how the market is feeling. So over here is the peak of wave 1, but the closing price. So if wave 4 goes below here and closes, or this price goes below here and closes down here, this would invalidate this wave count. But again, when it's CPI, we want to take things with a pinch of salt because it tends to get a bit more volatile. So it's almost like let the day play out, and then tomorrow we can reevaluate and see how is the crowd feeling after the consumer price index announcement. But what I would like to see, like if I had my ideal scenario and for a nice setup over the next coming days, I would like the trend identifier dashboard at the bottom to still show a bull trend on the daily and consider buying in terms of what to do, because we want the 2 time frames pointing in the same direction. And if the daily becomes bearish, we're going to wait for the momentum to become bullish again, and it might take a few days for that to occur. I would like to see some type of this high get exceeded, and then some type of A, B, C start pullback. And that would be an ideal buying opportunity if we had momentum, pattern, price, and even some time ratios like we've got over here. So again, what am I really saying? Well, what we saw happen in the first part that we was focused on over here in terms of this, because we want to really get familiar with these 5s and 3s, because if you can see these, it can make a big difference to when to buy, when to sell, and when to stand aside. When we see a nice 5-wave move to the upside, typical next is some type of A, B, C correction. And again, it doesn't always pan out like this, but this is some textbook stuff here. Fibonacci price, Fibonacci time, momentum over here. We go, that looks good. But I want to see the same thing or a similar thing on a lower degree trend. So it's almost like the same happens on a microwave. And again, if it unfolds in a similar fashion over here, it looks like at the moment a 1, 2, 3, a potential 4, not confirmed, hence we got a question mark. A wave 5, a confirmation will be above here, and then some type of micro pullback like so, and there you have it. And again, look at the trend right now. So this is live, so you can see the daily momentum has now gone bearish. What does that mean? Well, it means we want to be on high alert that there's a lot of selling pressure right now. The momentum's on the downside, and it's told us live that we want to be on high alert. And just so you know, by the way, how this works is if I go to a daily chart in the top right-hand corner, because the price is moving down and it's driving down the momentum, what is based on is actually this over here. This is one of the key parts over here. And you've just seen it change again in the bottom right. It's basically this blue line and the red line. When the blue line is above the red line, it's bullish. And when it goes below the red line, it turns bearish. And because the price is moving down at the moment, you're seeing it change to bull and bear, and it tells us live. And then once the price closes, it will just go into the next day. So this is a live dashboard that just updates, and you'll see that this changes. So if this becomes bearish by the end of the day, we probably don't want to buy. We want to just wait for the next bullish reversal, allow the momentum to do this. So you can see this is over here. And after today, we'll kind of see a clear picture of what is happening exactly and why this is going down, as in it's just literally measuring the momentum based on the current price action. And if we look at the current price action with Ethereum on the daily chart, we can see it's currently a down bar and it's looking quite aggressive to the downside, and it might close into that range. So I wasn't planning on doing this, but we may see that the wave 4 gets voided, and it probably will, looking at it now. Like if we look at it live now, hence that's one of the reasons why we have a question mark. So if this price continues to the downside and closes into this range, basically what it tells us is that this is not a wave 3, and this indeed looks like some type of A, B, C correction, and then this will probably end up being another trend to the downside. And it's one of the reasons we're planning to do it like this, but one of the reasons you want to be really getting the edge in your favor and be patient for the ideal conditions. So another thing, I'll just say this to you like so. What I'm gonna do here is it'll be more accurate for us to write this. This is what you often see me say, is saying 1 or A. For this very reason, for this exact reason of what we're seeing the market unfold. But again, take everything with a pinch of salt, as it's, CPI day. This this over here is a wave 2 or B. And effectively what we're saying is this up here is a 3 or C. And there's no real way of knowing in foresight. You only really get to know in hindsight. However, we have to, make business decisions now. So what would confirm or indicate at least that this is a wave C? Well, if the price closes, and it's called a wave overlap, and there's a pattern reversal signal, if the price closes below this point over here, then that indicates that this is indeed a wave C. If it doesn't, and the price goes above here, then it confirms it's a wave 3, right? And we have to have that paradoxical thinking, and that's one of the art and the science of being a successful trader long term, is to know what the crowd psychology is telling us. And literally, look, just knowing that it's got nothing to do with us, nothing to do with you, nothing personal. Ethereum's price action is Ethereum's price action, and the price is gonna do what it's gonna do. All we can do in our favor is wait for the double time frame momentum. Right now, it's, as of this moment in time, it's bearish, mainly because of this current recent downward movement. But again, if the price goes up, it will flip around and then look for long trades. But again, the dashboard tells us to stand aside right now. But more important than the dashboard right now is CPI. CPI is going to impact the market. It tends to. So just be on high alert for that as well. So if you want to check out the trend identifier dashboard, it's £1, 30-day trial. Use it. You can use it on every chart you want. You can add up to 20 different assets. You can do some very cool stuff. Let me just show you actually. I'll just quickly show you. You can add different assets. So you can add up to 20 different assets. So we can add Bitcoin, and you'll see that on the same chart down here on the identifier dashboard, we can see now Bitcoin and Ethereum are showing. And you can do a multitude of things on this. You also get some buy sell signals, which look like this. So these signals over here, this arrow, it shows more clearly on the daily chart. So if I click onto the daily chart and we'll just smooth it out, we get these buy sell signals over here, sell signal over here, buy signal over here, bullish reversal indication. And it's basically, and I'll show you in the training, how it helps you use the trend identifier dashboard so you know what side the trend is on and what you should be looking to do. Again, you can check out this chart as well, and I'll save this now so you have access to it. So if you like today's content, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. We're going to stay on high alert with the market. The bull market is going to come eventually. When exactly, we don't know. We'll let the price tell us. So now's the time to really build your foundation of skills so you can attack when the market is ready, as opposed to trying to chase the market when the market starts to really take off. So let's finish on a quote from my book. We'll go with chapter 3 today. It's Confucius, and he says the following: it does not matter how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop.